Do you need a 10-second countdown? Or? Thumbs up. Okay. I am going to call this meeting to order. Good morning. My name is Councillor Paul Ainsley. I'm the chair of the Scarborough Community Council. The clerk has confirmed that we have quorum, so I'd like to now call meeting number 5 to order. Welcome to everyone. I'd just like to remind everybody that today's meeting is being held with members of council and city staff participating by video conference and in person at the Scarborough Civic Centre in the council chamber. The Scarborough Civic Centre is open to the public, and anyone is welcome to attend the meeting in the council chamber today. The public may continue to participate electronically by video conference. This meeting is also being live streamed on YouTube at youtube.com/Toronto City Council Live. The city clerk's staff have connected remote public speakers to the meeting by video conference, and there are public speakers in the room with us today. The list of speakers can be viewed online by visiting the Scarborough Community Council page at toronto.ca/council and clicking the speakers box for today's meeting. I would like to just remind everybody for their patience if we have any delays or technical issues. Members of Community Council, the City Clerk has provided all agenda materials on toronto.ca/council and on the Clerk's meeting portal. Clerk's IT staff will be available if members in the chamber or remotely if you need any help with your devices. As part of each agenda item, I will ask the members to raise their hand or unmute their microphone if they wish to question staff or to speak. I will then create a speakers list and will call on members when it's their turn to speak. When voting on an item or a motion, I ask that members ensure that they turn on their video and raise their hand to indicate their vote. Members, just another reminder, this is a paperless meeting, and I want to remind you, you must still submit and approve your motions by email. Staff are available at scc@toronto.ca to help with motions. For the land acknowledgement, I would like to say on behalf of myself and my colleagues at Scarborough Community Council, we're standing today on the traditional territories of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. I also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty Number 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaty, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. At this point, I'm going to ask if there's any declarations of interest under the Ontario Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
Mr. Chair, just on a point of order.
Councillor Thompson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm wondering, Mr. Chair, just before we proceed, if we could just have a moment of silence for Sergeant Eric Mueller, who's being buried today, who's the OPP officer that was killed last week, unfortunately, and I'm just wondering if we could have a moment of silence before we proceed.
Sure, I'm fine with that.
You make
everybody like to stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Thompson. At this point, can I have a motion to confirm the minutes of our last meeting on April 25th, 2023? Moved by Councillor Mantas. All in favor? That carries. We will now go through the agenda. Sorry. There we go. Our first item is 3070 Ellesmere Road, application to lift the holding provision. This is a decision report for approval. This is in Ward 24. We do have one listed deputant, Lisa Ward-Mather from Bowesfields Incorporated. This item's actually in my ward. Lisa said she didn't need to depute if we didn't have any questions of her. Is that correct? And I don't have any questions of her. Does anybody else have any questions of the deputant? No? Okay, I think we're fine without her deputing. So we have the recommendations before us. SC 5.1, 3070 Ellesmere Road, application to lift a holding provision, decision report, approval. I'm going to move the recommendations. All in favor of the recommendations? That carries. Our next item is SC 5.2, 1680 Brimley Road, official plan amendment application, decision report for approval. This is in Ward 21. Councillor Thompson? Councillor Thompson's moving.
Sorry, my microphone wasn't on.
It's not a problem.
I can move the recommendation.
Okay, all in favor of the recommendations in SC 5.2? That carries. SC 5.3, 3250 Markham Road and 568 Passmore Avenue, zoning amendment, decision report for approval. This is in Ward 23. Councillor Myers?
Can I hold? I just have a few questions.
Yep. Councillor Myers is holding number 3. Number 4, SC 5.4, 100 Eglinton Square, official plan amendment, zoning amendment application. This is an appeal report in Ward 20. Councillor Crawford?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe this is in Councillor Thompson's ward, 100 Eglinton? 100 Eglinton Square? Okay, I was told that it was, okay, I apologize. Okay, anyway, I'll move the staff recommendations.
Okay, all right. Councillor Crawford's moving the staff recommendations in SC 5.4. All in favor? And that carries. SC 5.5, 3585 and 3595 St. Clair Avenue East, 636 to 646 and 641 to 663 Danforth Road, and 411 to 415 Kennedy Road, official plan amendment, zoning amendment, draft plan of subdivision. This is an appeal report in Ward 20. Councillor Crawford?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll move this, and I just wanted to comment to everyone that as much as this is an appeal report, I'm confident that the two parties will come to settlement, hopefully the next time it comes before us. I know they've been working diligently already on that, but I'm confident that we'll have some sort of a mediated settlement next time it comes before us. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Crawford. Councillor Crawford's moving the recommendations in SC 5.5. All in favor? And that carries. SC 5.6, 20 Trelevan Place, application for a fence exemption in Ward 21. Councillor Thompson?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Oh, sorry, Councillor Thompson, there is one registered deputy.
Oh, is there? Oh, okay.
Sorry, my apologies.
Okay, fair enough.
So I will hold that.
But, Mr. Chair, just before you proceed, and I know that you've dealt with a number of the planning matters, I just wanted to acknowledge that Mr. Ashby, Renwick Ashby, is going to be the new acting director for the East Scarborough District Community Council. He's taking over from Mr. Francesca, who has been ably to handle the file. I'm just really happy that both these two gentlemen have been able to handle a lot of the development that's taking place in Scarborough, and particularly moving forward. And Mr. Ashby is going to be inheriting the role until, I guess, it's sometime in August, and at some point we'll have a new director. But it's important in terms of recognizing the role that these gentlemen are playing because of all the amazing development that's actually taking place here in Scarborough along the Golden Mile. Councillor Crawford has just dealt with 100 Eglinton Square, and also there's another development in his ward that is absolutely amazing. You see the report, this transformation that's taking place. It's the leadership of these gentlemen, and Mr. Ashby going forward will provide tremendous guidance to the planning staff, and they do an amazing job. So I just wanted to acknowledge Mr. Ashby, Mr. Vendresca for the amazing work that they do, and looking forward to more amazing things to come from you, because in our area of Scarborough Centre, there's so much that's actually going on. So you're on the hot seat, Mr. Ashby, and looking forward to good things from you.
Through the chair, thank you very much, Councillor Thompson. I know most of the members of council here, and I just look forward to continue working with them. And I'd like to thank my colleague, Christian Van Tresca, for keeping the ship afloat. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's good to see your fist pumping. Our next item is SC 5.7, residential demolition application at 3344 Ellesmere Road in Ward 25. Deputy Mayor McKelvey.
Thank you. I'd like to move recommendation 3.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor McKelvey is moving recommendation number 3 in SC 5.7. Any questions of the mover? Sorry. We're just waiting for it to be displayed, Deputy Mayor.
Yep.
Any questions of the mover? Seeing none, all in favor of the recommendation, that carries unanimously. SC 5.8, Goldhawk Trail and Oakhaven Drive North intersection. This is an all-way stop control in Ward 23. Councillor Myers.
I'd like to move staff recommendations.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Myers is moving staff recommendations. All in favor? That carries for SC 5.8. 5.9, SC 5.9, Guildwood Parkway and Rowatson Road, pedestrian crossing protection in Ward 24. I will move the rest recommendations. All in favor? That carries. SC 5.10, Grangeway Avenue parking amendments in Ward 24. I'm moving the recommendations. All in favor? That carries. SC 5.11, Jutten Court Parking Amendment in Ward 24. This is basically a technical amendment. I'm in my ward. I'm moving the recommendations. All in favor? That carries for SC 5.11. SC 5.12, Charlottetown Boulevard Parking Amendment and a U-turn prohibition in Ward 25. Deputy Mayor McKelvey.
Thank you. I'll move staff recommendation.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor McKelvey is moving staff recommendations for SC 5.12. All in favor? That carries. SC 5.13, road safety review for Port Union Road. This is in Ward 25. Deputy Mayor McKelvey.
Thank you. I'm going to move that this is deferred until October. We're waiting for the warrants to be updated consistent with Vision Zero, and that hasn't happened yet.
Okay. The clerk's just going to put that on the screen. 5.13, road safety review, Port Union Road. Deputy Mayor McKelvey is moving a motion to defer this until our October 19th, 2023 meeting. All in favor? And that carries unanimously. SC 5.14, traffic calming speed humps on Clonmore Drive in Ward 20. I need a motion to add this item to the agenda. Moved by Councillor Crawford. All in favor? Did you want to move the recommendations now? This was it was advanced circulated.
Yeah, it was advanced circulated, and just wanted to let my colleagues know that the next 3, actually, we've worked with transportation staff. They're very supportive of all this. We just couldn't get it here on time, so, but I'll move the recommendations.
Okay, Councillor Crawford is moving the recommendations in SC 5.14. All in favor? And that carries unanimously. SC 5.15, traffic calming speed humps, Fallingbrook Road between Clonmore Drive and Kingston Road in Ward 20. This is being put forward by Councillor Crawford. I need a motion to introduce it. All in favor? All in favor of the recommendations? And that carries unanimously.
Which one?
1-5.
Sorry, 5.15.
Oh, 1-5. Okay, sorry.
And our next item is SC 5.16, traffic calming Eastgate Crescent between Pharmacy Avenue and St. Clair Avenue East. This is in Ward 20. Councillor Crawford, I need a motion to introduce it.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Crawford. All in favor? That carries. Councillor Crawford, would you like to move the recommendations?
I would. Thank you very much. Yes.
Councillor Crawford's moving the recommendations for SC 5.16. All in favor? That carries. Our next item of new business I think it's just been posted. Yep. Is SC
I
5.
think there's an error.
Sorry, Deputy Mayor
there's
McKelvey?
an error on this because 517 and 518 have the same rec online. I don't think 17 was pasted up properly because 17 says Scarborough Civic Center 50th anniversary, but it's
Yep.
the Bomb Girl recommendation, which is the same as 18, so that needs to be corrected.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now.
Okay. Clerks are just fixing it now. Thank you, Deputy Mayor McKelvey. So I know, okay. Okay. So we are now on SC 5.17, Scarborough Civic Center, 50th Anniversary Celebration. I need a motion from Councillor Thompson to introduce it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I'd like to introduce this item for new business, which is the Scarborough Civic Center celebration. It's been 50 years, and I believe that there's a necessity and need to acknowledge the importance of this particular building to the community and to the people of Scarborough. And I'd like to just add this request as a motion of staff to basically plan a celebration and ensure that we understand the importance of this building.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Councillor Thompson. I think very appropriate that this building be recognized on its 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that it's coming from Scarborough Community Council, so thank you very much for bringing this to our attention.
Right, and just before we get to the second one, Mr. Chair, just let me apologize to the clerk. There's a fire alarm that was in place at the City Hall this morning, and my team were trying to coordinate getting everything last minute to you, and so it's been a little bit disjointed there, but we have it now. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Did you want to vote on number 17 now, or?
Yeah, I'm happy to move it. I mean, I think it's pretty clear.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
So
We're
we'll
just
come
waiting for the attachments to be posted.
Sure.
So we'll hold this one down for a few
Okay.
minutes.
Sure, thank you.
Our next item to be added to the agenda is SC 5.18, Scarborough's Bomb Girls World War II contributions in Ward 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Brought forward by Councillor Thompson. I need a motion to add this to the agenda. Councillor Thompson?
Yes, so moved to add this particular item, Mr. Chair. It's super important that we recognize the importance of the Bomb Girls and their contribution to World War II. Some 21,000 women who actually played a role in producing ammunitions and munitions here in Scarborough that was sent to the men who were fighting the war, World War II, for our freedom. There's an amazing lady, Barbara Dickinson, and she's been working with my office and Councillor Crawford's office, and obviously would like to work with all of our respective offices to put in place what is a banner program, but also to add to that where we would be doing more activities to support the memory of the Bomb Girls. Some of them are still alive, and so we want to do a great celebration and recognition of that. The development that's taking place along the Eglinton Avenue, the Golden Mile, has provided the necessity and the need to actually do more and to bring that forward. So I'm adding this motion in order for us to bring Ms. Dickinson in to talk about what we can do in supporting with her and moving this matter forward in celebrating and just recognizing the history and contribution that this great community of Scarborough has basically given to the world and its freedom. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Thompson. So we have the recommendation before us for Barbara Dixon to be invited to address Scarborough Community Council at our June 27th meeting. All in favor? And that carries unanimously. Okay, so we are going to go back to, I'm going to start with our first item that has a registered deputant, SC 5.6, 20 Trelevan Place. This is an application for a fence exemption. We have one registered speaker, Daryl Orion. Is Mr. Orion here this morning or online? It's online? Okay. Good morning, Mr. Orion.
Good morning.
You have 5 minutes to address Scarborough Community Council. After your 5 minutes, each member of Scarborough Community Council can ask you questions for up to 5 minutes, and then we do what's called taking it back into committee, where we can ask questions of staff individually for up to 5 minutes, and then we hold a vote. So you have 5 minutes to begin whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, Council. How are you today? I just wanted to actually just log in and be available if there were to be anybody else who was to log in and attend and have any questions regarding this. In regards to the request for a 6-foot fence around the property, there was a couple of images that I had wanted to share, primarily regarding the neighbor who is adjacent to my property, where the 6-foot fence height is in question because of proximity to the driveway. One of the issues as part of the application was that this neighbor, particularly in the winters, consistently dumps their snow on my property. Part of the original submission had imagery showing them actually throwing snow on the property that I didn't see in the file for today's presentation. So I don't know whether council would like to see that or not, but that is also one of the reasons why we were looking to have the higher fence height there. There's currently an existing 4-foot chain link fence there. But that neighbor currently just chucks their snow over it at the moment, despite being requested not to for several years. That is really the only additional point I wanted to add. I do have backup of other photos in the area, particularly 80 Frey Crescent, which also has a 6-foot fence adjacent to their neighbor's yard, similar to ours. The overall dimensions and style of the fence that is being requested is based on that same submission that was made to the city that was approved for 80 Frey, which includes the 6-foot fence all around. And that's it. So if council would like to see the attached imagery, they were submitted to the city this morning. Otherwise, I will cease my time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Orion. Does anybody have any questions of the deputant? Councillor Thompson?
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Orion, through you, Mr. Chair.
Good morning.
Can you perhaps just state to committee additional reasons as to why you're hoping to have the fence? It's not exclusively as it relates to snow. Would I be correct in that question? Mr. Chair, I wonder, can we have staff put this up? Is that possible?
Sorry?
Can we have staff put this picture up? This is the one he was referring to. Is it possible to put this up?
We're not sure if the overhead's working.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll
Glad
just
to
pass
see
it
your
down. I'll
list
just
for
pass it through to members. It is working? Okay. Just a moment, sir, before I just ask you a question.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Just maybe turn it around the other way. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Is that the picture that you're referring to, sir?
That is correct.
All right. But that's not the reason why you're here exclusively. Would I be correct with respect to that assessment?
That is correct.
You have a small family?
That is correct.
A young family? Young children?
Yeah, correct. I have 2 children,
Yep.
and I also have a dog.
Right.
And the main reason for the fence is to enclose that side yard of our home so that the children have a place to play, the dog has a place to run, without interference.
Right.
Secondary reasons for the fence request was the snow dumping, as well as people cutting across our property.
Right.
That was another issue. That was another photo that was supplied that showed a worn track across our property where people cut across it. But the main reason is for safety for my kids and my dog to run around in.
Renwick. Put this one. All right. And also, you have a eastern door as well that has a slide door that you're not able to have access to at this point. Is that correct? You hoping to add some
that is
stairs? So you would like to use this area
That is
as a
correct.
gathering for your family?
Correct.
All right. So it's not exclusively for this issue around your neighbor throwing the snow on your property, correct?
That is correct.
So overall safety for your family, some privacy, and this is not inconsistent with respect to other properties in the area that have fencing that is similar to what you're asking for?
That is correct, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Chair, I have no further questions.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Other questions of the deputant? Okay. Councillor Thompson, questions of staff?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to staff, I'm just wondering whether or not you had any concern around sightline and safety with respect to the erection of this fence. I am going to move to, I think it's 2.A of the recommendation, which is a 2.4 meters. I'm just wondering if you had any concern regarding safety? I'm not sure which staff members. Oh.
Through your chair, good morning. It's
Morning.
Chantal from the City of Toronto Bylaw Enforcement Supervisor with Municipal Licensing and Standard. Through your chair, we don't have any concerns with the property line and the fencing being the height of 2 meters, as the property line is 6 meters back from the roadway, therefore providing a buffer on the driveway for vehicles to enter and leave at any point.
So sorry, I heard you say you didn't have any concern with it being 2 meters. It's what's being asked for in 2A. It's 2.4 meters, which is obviously higher than the 6 feet. Is that correct?
Through you, Chair, yeah, that is correct. Either way, even if it is 2.4 meters, we don't have any objections to the height nor
Okay.
concerns regarding safety.
Okay, thank you so much. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Those are all my questions.
Other questions of staff on this item? Seeing none. Speakers, Councillor Thompson, this is in your ward.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I'm going to move, by the way, may I just say, this is really confusing the way it was written. There's like 4 recommendations here, 1A, B on the refusal, on 2A, and B. I'm going to move 2A, which is to grant the application for the exemption permit to the owner. And just simply to say that this is not a precedent-setting situation in the community. Just to the north, probably about, I'd say maybe 6 or 8 homes to the north, has a similar height and fencing. And for the same reasons that the applicant is asking for permission, permissions were granted by this community council. And so I'm asking members of community council to support the recommendation, which is to grant the applicant's request for the exemption. It is to protect his family. He has a dog. It's a young family, children, a large portion of the yard, which is underutilized now by the family because it is wide open. As you saw by the footprints, people just walk through, and there has been some confrontation, minimal as there are, and happy that it is the case. But the resident is not able to enjoy the use and privacy of their home, and I think that this makes perfect sense. And I want to thank the resident for actually making the time to provide a process where he actually applied for a permit, and we've seen situations where people put the fences in first. He's waited over 2 years for this day, and so I think that it's fitting that we should grant the application. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Questions of Councillor Thompson? Seeing none, all in favor of the recommendation?
Sorry, I just quickly want to say thank you to the applicant for coming in and getting permission before building the fence, because we don't see that a lot.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor McKelvey. All in favor of Councillor Thompson's recommendation, moving 2A? That carries unanimously. We are now on to SC 5.3, 3250 Markham Road and 568 Passmore Avenue. This is a zoning amendment decision report approval held by Councillor Myers. Councillor Myers, questions of staff?
Thank you, Chair. Through the chair. So I just had some quick questions, and apologies for them being last minute. So big picture, is this plan presented by the applicant consistent with Transform TO, specifically our goal to be net zero by 2040? I know I read in the report that this plan meets Tier 1 of the Toronto Green Standards, but I'm not sure if that's consistent with us actually meeting our net zero goals. And I didn't read anything about Tier 2, 3, or 4.
Through the chair, good morning, members of council. I'm Samuel Barron, community planner, and this is my staff report. Thank you for your question, councillor. So Transform TO comes to development review of private development through the Toronto Green Standard. So staff have reviewed against the Toronto Green Standard and found that it is generally compliant with Tier 1 of the Toronto Green Standard. As detailed in the report, that while the applicant is over-providing with respect to the number of trees on site, and there are issues with soil volumes from the zoning standpoint, the matter we have found can advance to the site plan process, and we will work with the applicant to ensure that there's greater provision of landscaping and soil volume to the site plan control process. So to answer your question, they're compliant with Tier 1 of the Toronto Green Standard, and we can encourage them to pursue higher tiers through the site plan control process. Thank you.
Thanks. So just to confirm, I don't know if it's someone from Transform TO or Toronto Green Standards, are they comfortable that this plan is compliant with sort of that overall net zero strategy?
Councillor, I can take that through the chair. So the Tier 1 standard, as Sam detailed, has been met, and that's really the only stick we have. The carrot for Tier 2 and above are development charge credits for applicants to pursue, but industrial development is exempt from development charge. So it's the art of the possible here. So we're negotiating with the applicant to improve soil volumes, to improve transit access to the bus stop. I believe, Sam, they're rebuilding a bus stop in the Boulevard to make it better. We've talked about getting better pedestrian access to that stop to try to it's a soft sell, but making it more accessible. We work with cool roofs and these kinds of things to hold the line, but it's more difficult to compel industrial development to higher levels of the green standard because the development charge credit that is the incentive is not really on the table.
Is that because of Bill 23?
No, development charge, industrial development have been exempt from development charges for a while, almost forever.
Was that a council decision or a provincial decision?
It would have been a council decision when development charge bylaws were passed over time.
Okay, thank you. So you sort of answered my second question, so thank you. About adequate TTC service and confirming that the TTC service will have adequate lighting and pedestrian safety in order to cross the road?
Through the chair, thank you for the question. So the application has been circulated to the TTC for review. So there is an existing bus stop that's southbound on Markham Road. It services 3 routes. And through the review process, we have protected for an adequate boulevard to meet the TTC bus stop requirements for boarding and alighting for bus service. The sidewalk width will be increased to meet AODA compliance standards, which is a 2.1 meter sidewalk, which is an improvement over the existing condition. And then lastly, I believe there is an existing hydro pole with a light on it at the intersection of Markham and Passmore Road. So there is lighting on site. So in short, the TTC has provided comments and we've protected for the standard bus stop requirements.
Thank you. And will there be a crosswalk as part of this plan?
Through the chair, at this point, there has not been crosswalk secured as part of the rezoning. And just to ask, a crosswalk from the
TTC stop to the site? Or is it the TTC stop getting... I'm just not sure where the TTC stop is relative to the site.
My apologies. I should have clarified. The bus stop is directly on the frontage of the site.
Perfect.
Apologies for that.
No, thank you. Last question. I note the plan only has space for 12 bike parking spaces. So first question, is there already safe biking infrastructure in place? And why are the number of spots so low relative to, I think, the 359 parking spots that we're giving?
Through the chair, to answer the first question, there are no cycling routes immediately within vicinity of the site. If we're discussing cycle tracks or protected bike lanes, in terms of the provision of the bike parking spaces. Just to clarify, there are 12 short-term spaces and 18 long-term spaces for a total of 30 spaces. So it's compliant with respect to zoning requirements for bike parking, and it is compliant with the Toronto Green Standard for parking, which has a number of spaces that are required to be provided to meet Tier 1. But staff are happy to work with the applicant through site plan to increase the number of parking spaces and find some more space for bike parking on site.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Myers. Are there questions of staff on this item? Seeing none. Speakers, Councillor Myers.
No, I'd like to move staff recommendations.
Okay, Councillor Myers is moving staff recommendations on SC 5.3, 3250 Markham Road, and 568 Passmore Avenue zoning amendment decision report approval in Ward 23. All in favor? That carries unanimously. And I believe that was our last item, Madam Clerk. Oh, sorry, my apologies. We're back to item number 17. Councillor Thompson, did you wish to speak to it again, or are you okay?
No, I'm done.
Okay,
I think unless I'm happy to speak more, but why bother?
I'm always
good.
happy to give a politician more time to speak.
Right, but new and modern day politicians are interested in getting things done,
All
Mr.
right.
Chair.
So we will move the staff recommendations put forward by Councillor Thompson.
Yes, thank
All in favor? That carries unanimously. Item is amended. All in favor? And I believe we're done, Madam Clerk? Bills? All right, we're just doing the bills. Who would like to move the bills? They're on the screen. Councillor Myers is moving the bills.
That bill's,
Thompson, you have to, sorry, Councillor Myers, I'm looking over this way at all of you. Councillor Myers, you have to read the bills.
that bill's 461 to 467 prepared for the May 18, 2023 meeting 5 of the Scarborough Community Council be declared as bylaws and passed subject to section 226.9 of the City of Toronto Act 2006.
All in favor? That carries. And there's one more. Volunteers? Anybody? Councillor Mantis?
That confirmatory bills to confirm the legislative proceedings of the Scarborough Community Council acting under delegated authority at meeting 5 on May 18th, 2023 be declared as bylaws and passed subject to section 228.9 of the City of Toronto Act 2006.
Thank you. Any questions of the mover? Seeing none, all in favor? That carries. Motion to adjourn? So moved. All in favor? That carries. Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you to all the staff this morning.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yes, happy
Stay
long
tuned for
weekend,
a
everyone.